Wait 1 second. I'm almost about to undeafen. And boom, there we go. What up, boys? How you guys doing?
You just missed a sex joke.
I am also streaming, so that's a big rip. But, you know, you were alive, and we have a new desk overlay thanks to Blue. And what the heck is happening to QDC's camera?
That is a good question that we will not talk about right now.
Okay, I guess we're not going to talk about it. But let us instead switch over to talking about this matchup between the Wildebeests and the Hammerheads for the semifinals. And Cubics, you know, you're in this league and you know exactly what the heck is up. So tell me, what the heck is up with these teams?
Oh, yeah. So this is a very interesting matchup. We've seen the Wildebeests and Hammerheads go at it a couple of times during the regular season. Per QDC's report, Wildebeests won both games, 3-1 in one and 3-0 in the other. But the Wildebeests have definitely been that dominant team in Paladin this season, going 17-1 this season with an over 80% winning percentage in the regular season. Coming into this game, they're coming off a sweep over, sadly, my team, the Buzzards, in the first round, and I think the Hammerheads won 4-1 against the Roadrunners as well. So they do have a little bit of momentum coming into this game. They went 12-6 in the regular season, again with those 2 losses to the Wildebeests in the regular season, though. Their winning percentage is 56% right now. But if you want to look a little bit more at the offensive side of things, Wildebeests scoring almost an entire goal more than the Hammerheads on average per game. So that's going to be something that we're going to look to see here today. The shooting percentage for the Wildebeests also quite a bit higher, and the opponent's shooting percentage also quite a bit lower. So just all around, the Wildebeests seem like the better team coming into this game.
All right. Well, you know, I hear you, and that's good. But, you know, we also have QDC here, and I don't want him to be left out because we all know how much QDC hates being left out. So, QDC, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, here's how I see things, right? Nothing is impossible. The Dragonflies got beat by the Cosmos, who are in the final, waiting for whichever 2 teams win here. I do see something weird where both teams from the Steel Division that made it into the playoffs made it to the semifinals, and both teams from the Titanium Division made it to the semifinals. So the top team in the Cobalt and Iron Division were just absolutely put aside by these teams. And the Cosmos, 10-8, no one really expecting them to do that much, especially up against the Dragonflies, and they make it happen in the playoffs. Nothing's stopping the Hammerheads, but come on, can you really bet against the Wildebeests here? As you said, over a goal per game more than the Hammerheads, while still letting in less goals. Letting on just as many shots as the Hammerheads, and shooting almost 2.5 more per game, so the Wildebeests just looking that much stronger. Every stat is in their favor. I don't know how they lose this.
Well, I hate to do it because they're my boys. You know, they're in my org, so I always got to support them. But I mean, I gotta play devil's advocate, man. You know, I gotta look at this. So I mean, you know, they've had incredible success this entire time. They're 16-2, if my memory serves, right, Cubics?
For 17 the Hammerheads,
17-1. No. I was talking about Wildebeests. Sorry. So 17-1. That is an insane stat. But that one game, that is all that you need in order to break this team. So yes, they've done fantastic, but can it hold up in the semis? Can it hold up where it really matters? Because that's the question that we're asking of them. So can you guys perform under the intense pressure that you guys are under? So I would love to keep on asking and to keep on talking. But I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to you guys for casting. But really quickly, let me do the semis video because, you know, it's just really nice and Blue did a lot of work. So I'm going to tell you guys to be quiet for just a couple seconds and then we'll watch and then I'll throw it over to you guys.
Will do.
All right, boys, take it away. It's going to be the Wildebeests versus the Hammerheads. Cubics and QDC are casting. So you guys, I want you to do it like your life counted on it. QDC, I know your voice is heading for the hills right now, but I believe everyone is in. Let me just double check. We are in. I'm going to mute, and you guys go for it.
All right, thanks, Bard. We're here down on the field here for our matchup here between the Wildebeests and the Hammerheads. Good luck to both teams in this match. We have them taking the field, and the kickoff is imminent. Countdown starts now, and they are off. Paladin semifinals are here. Shot goes on. Some possession right now for the Hammerheads. An early possession, a good bump as well, but this one will not go. Scraps the second opportunity, goes bar down and out twice before that one is finally cleared. Oh, what a shot from the Hammerheads to start things off.
Starting off strong indeed, but just doesn't find the back of the twine there. And we stay scoreless so far, a half a minute into this game. That's another shot on net. That's a bad touch. Dorkinator not having the chance to do anything with that. Both teams seemingly 50-50 right now in terms of how many people voted for them and the amount of channel points. A total amount of 24,000 channel points on both teams so far. And it's going to be the Hammerheads starting us off.
As a goal comes in from Porter there. Good pass from Scraps to find him. Not necessarily what we expected coming into this one. An early goal here from the Hammerheads. Definitely some momentum coming their way early, and we'll look for them to keep that up here as things continue. A 1-0 lead for the Hammerheads. Possession now with the Wildebeests, though. Looking for a pass across. It's there. He finds Dork. Going for the double. Can't get a connection on it. Cooper with some possession here. Gets it by one. Just has to beat Dork, but he gets the good clear. This one looks to be in the net, though. Ball is center and free, but nobody gets onto that, and Cooper trying to get some possession here. Fakes his way into a clear from, I believe, that was Porter. Dork trying to get some possession here, but Hammerhead's able to keep it in their offensive end for the time being. Some pressure and a backflip coming in there from Dork, and the key demo there from Chef to give the Wildebeests some offensive pressure after being held in their end for a while.
What do you think has contributed to the people thinking that the Hammerheads have so much of an advantage over the Wildebeests? Is it the want for the Wildebeests to go down, or is it really just the Hammerheads are that good and we're sleeping on them?
I think it's a combination of all three, to be quite honest. I think the Hammerheads are a very good team and can take this one if they do so choose and are having a good day, and the Wildebeests are not necessarily. But the main thing is that looking back to the stats a little bit here, Aiden has been just absolutely phenomenal all season for the Wildebeests. Definitely. Ooh, another shot from Cooper will put it in the back of the net. 2-0 Hammerheads here in game one. A huge goal there.
And that is a 2-0 lead. Dork is asking for a new server already, so he's blaming it not on himself or his teammates, but on the server, it seems. Excuses.
Really. But as I was saying, Aiden has been the main man here for the Wildebeests all season. Taking a look at the stats, I think he was averaging almost a goal and a half per game for the Wildebeests. Definitely their MVP. And if the Hammerheads can shut them down as well, I think that's going to be a big contributor to their winning this game. But we're seeing here some extended possession from the Wildebeests. Cooper looking for a clear. He'll get one, but is unable to keep possession in the process. Aiden is there to pick up the Scraps past Scraps, and a shot might come on here. A good save for the time being, but possession still held strong by the Wildebeests. Dork cheats up. It's up to Scraps, and nobody is back. 3-0 Hammerheads.
Hey, if you still haven't voted, ladies and gentlemen, there's still 4 minutes left for the predictions here. I think we might have some people voting for Hammerheads because it's 3-0 for them off of that mistake, and that's uncharacteristic of the Wildebeests making so many mistakes. That's 3 pretty major mistakes, and they haven't contributed anything so far to their offense.
The consistency coming out from the Hammerheads as well is something that definitely we, the Buzzards, saw in game one. That's what wore us out on the defensive end and really killed our chances in that game. A lot of close games in that series, I might add, but our 8 and 10 selves just could not take down the Goliaths that are the Wildebeests. But they seem to be not having that same touch here. A great demo coming out from Dork, but nobody can connect on it. Cooper trying to get something going here. Chef is able to intercept, but it's a good clear out as far as Aiden for now. And there's the first major mistake from the Hammerheads. It will not cost them, as Porter coming in with the last minute save. Cooper with a great save of his own. Dork trying to get possession now. Scraps with a good touch. He won't be able to get a second before Aiden touches it back into the Wildebeest scoring end. Scraps on the ball quickly here. Out of boost though. Will he make a play? The answer to that question is simply put no, but Cooper has a shot. This one's alley-ooped in. A great save by Chef for the time being. Can they get it out? They will. The Chef trying to set something up, but can't get it into the center here. And it's back into his own kitchen. Scraps looking for a shot on, maybe a bump instead. Can't get either as he runs out a boost on the offensive end. But it looks like game one will be going to the Hammerheads.
Yeah, game one goes to the Hammerheads. I also wanted to make some a quick stat search. Hammerheads take game one 3-0. That's a little bit unexpected. Yes, we expected the Hammerheads to give us a fight, but that's quite the margin here. 3-0 was quite dominant. I went to look at some stats with Aiden being the #1 scorer in Paladin, right, with 92 total goals in I do believe 67 games if I read this correctly. 63 games, 92 goals. So that is an amazing amount of goals to score. Sadly, he scores none in this one. The next one will be very important for his team.
Definitely. Taking a look at some more of his stats, he's averaging about 3/4 an assist per game as well, but he's also the saves leader on his team, as well as the shots leader, and his team being able to feed him that ball is absolutely key for them and their success, and we'll have to see if that can continue coming up here into these next few games and see if he can pick up the pace here as we head into game two, a server remake real quick by request of the Wildebeests. And we'll get started just as soon as everybody's in. But QDC, what do you think that the Wildebeests need to do to bring that momentum back their way that they may have had coming into this game?
Well, the Wildebeests just made too many mistakes, I would say, and they didn't capitalize on any of the mistakes made by the Hammerheads. So I'd expect them to fix that right away, ASAP, and find a goal early on. That's the important part. Put the pressure on early. If they can't do that, they're in serious trouble.
The shutout in game one from the Hammerheads, too, also something that we did not expect, but their capitalization on the offensive pressure that they got was also absolutely key and definitely helped them in that first game. And we'll wait just another second as we wait for everybody to fill in the lobby, and we'll get right into some gameplay when we make sure everybody is in.
Now, I'm looking at all of independent stat, right? All the stats from the 4 independent leagues, right? And Aiden is #1 in scoring in all 4 leagues and has the best average in all 4 leagues for someone who played that many games. There is a player that's pretty close, Canadian Lions for the Wildcats in Independent League, but he has 90 goals in 73 games, so a lot more games and just slightly less goals. And the only player that I can really think of getting that kind of scoring, there are only 2 players that come up to mind, and both of them played in Season 11. George for AAA, who scored 103 goals, and in Major, we had Farrell in Season 11 as well with 105. I haven't seen those kind of numbers in quite a while. And sadly, in Independent League, in all 4 Independent Leagues, we did not see anyone reach the 100 milestone, but 2 players did hit 90, which is very good.
All right, and it looks like the lobby is back up with our new stadium here at Beckwith Park. And we'll bring you the action as soon as everybody is on. But taking a little bit more in-depth look at the Hammerheads now in terms of some stats. All of their main three players here, Cooper, Porter, and Scraps, all with some pretty decent numbers. Maybe a little bit mid-range, but some good defense from all of them, averaging almost a save per game across the board, which is phenomenal from all of them. And all of them averaging over half a goal per game, with their main scorer being Porter with just over 0.9 per game, 63 on the season for 68 games. But we do see an all around the board pretty good scoring ability through all of them. And it looks like we are ready to get going. We'll take you down to the pitch now for the kickoff here in game 2. The countdown will ring out throughout the crowd, and the kickoff here is won by the Hammerheads. Scraps with the backflip. Dork tries to go up for it. Cooper just barely beats him on the 50. Porter sends it out. This one almost read by Chef, and a great demo avoidance by Aiden will allow him to make that save, and for the Wildebeests to get the clear early here. 20 seconds in, looking for a center here. Can't quite get it. Porter is first to that one. Pass across is to Cooper. He sends it out to nobody right now. Aiden with the squishy save. Maybe a little bit fancy on that one, but hey, it worked. I won't complain. Cooper able to get it out, but only as far as Chef. Aiden looking to tip it on, but he can't get it by, as Porter just barely beats him to that one. Some offensive pressure coming in hot and heavy here from the Wildebeests. Not a whole lot of offense coming from the Hammerheads here early.
Hammerheads don't want an offense right now. Well, the Wildebeests, I should say, aren't going to let them have an offense this early on. Obviously, they don't want them to, but Scraps is going to force the matter here. Oh my goodness me, Scraps 1v3s.
Sneaky. What a play by Scraps, just able to get the tiniest little touch past Aiden. And Hammerheads, that's 4 straight goals here, and they've shut out the Wildebeests for possibly the longest time in the entire season. It is now coming up on 7 gameplay minutes that the Wildebeests have not scored a goal in this series. Not really feeling it today, as it seems right now. Shot coming on. It's a good shot. This one will roll in, but a great save by Porter, and a collective team effort there from the Hammerheads to keep them scoreless for now. Chef can't get a shot in. Dork looking to get a shot on. This one will be up off the ceiling. Chef gets to it, but so does, I think, Cooper, and a great play to get some possession going the Hammerheads' way. Now, they scored a goal without that possession, and those transition plays seeming to be important here for the Hammerheads' success in this game.
So far, it's so good for the Hammerheads. Listen, the transition play and the rotations especially I've seen, they don't double commit too much, and that's really been the key factor, right? Independent league as a whole, right? Not just Paladin, not just Renegade, Indie League as a whole. Really, there's a lot of double commits. We haven't seen practically a single double commit from this team.
Very consistent, solid rotational play coming out so far, which is allowing them, I was just about to praise their defense, as they let in their first goal of the series, and the Chef will tie it up here, sending that ball out to the customers with the splash, and it is 1-1.
Serving it hot, I see.
Very good shot there coming in from Chef to really give the Wildebeests some momentum here coming into game 2, and we might be seeing this turnaround here. Wildebeests now being able to score, having that confidence if they can get another one quickly here, especially on a play like this. Chef pops it up. Aiden with the touch, but it's a great save coming in from Cooper. And the Hammerheads looking to get really their first offensive possession of this game, but Chef is able to clear it out, and Hammerheads this game not really being able to counter those big, long power clears that the Wildebeests were so good with in our series. And we'll have to see if they can do that to keep the possession. A key demo here, but Chef is still there. Double commit comes out from Aiden, though. A good touch by Porter, but this one will go to Chef. Dork with a chance to solo play. Double commit from the Hammerheads there. Chef able to corral it, but Scraps lands on him so fortunately. And that one will be out of harm's way for now. Pushed into the corner. Sorry. The Porter sends it away from the net on a pretty decent shot. Dork off the ceiling down to Aiden, and he reads that perfectly. And the Wildebeests take the lead.
There's a reason why Aiden was one of the top scorers in the entirety of RLPC. Just making a check, he was number 2 in goals overall, and he was number 1 in goals per game for players who have played over 50 games, with 92 goals in 63 games. Meanwhile, Bren scoring 97 goals, but in 70 games as the top scorer of RLPC. Do you think we'll ever see scoring on the level of Farrell and George from season 11, where they were so high above the league in terms of skill that there's practically nothing you can do about it, like that shot from Chef? Barely anything you can do about it on the defense here. That shot was just perfect in the top corner.
A very good shot on a misplay there from the Hammerheads. A couple of touches that could have been there to avoid that opportunity, but just a slow rolling ball up the middle just does not sound like a fun time for the Hammerheads on the defensive end. But to add to your point about the scoring, I think we could see it up there depending on the team's play style. If some team has a really high scoring player, then and some teammates who are really good at passing, then we might see something like that again. But those extraordinary 100+ goal numbers in 18 games is really unheard of, and there's a reason why. As of right now, but with 13 seconds left, it looks like Game 2 is going to go to the Wildebeests. So you have to kind of wonder if that Game 1 was a fluke here, as the offensive pressure coming in from the Wildebeests just seems to be very dominant right now.
It feels like they started up an engine and it was just starting it up cold, you know, when you start up your car in the winter and it just won't start up. Takes a bit of time, and that engine started up halfway through this second game exactly, and it took them 7.5 minutes to score a goal, and they were able to score 3 in the latter half of this game. 10 shots in total, and the Hammerheads only kept to 3 shots. So that is very well done indeed by the Wildebeests.
Not Chef do be cooking. It seems like that game that the offensive pressure, whenever it attempted to come from the Hammerheads, was shut down quite easily by the Wildebeests, and I think that's something that they're going to have to work on coming into the next couple of games, is making that offensive pressure when they get it count, and not relying on the transition opportunity like they got in this game to score all of their goals is going to be a key factor coming into the rest of this series. But we'll have to see how things go in Game 3. The first 2 games, very different in the way that both teams played. Hammerheads able to play better back at DHF with some fantastic offensive pressure. They were able to hold it a lot better. And coming here to Beckwith seems like their home field, the Wildebeests, and they have really dominated so far in Game 2. But we'll have to see what changes here in Game 3. So far, not a whole lot, as the ball is first off. Ooh, actually a good touch by Scraps. Maybe some pressure here for the Hammerheads. Pass cannot be through, and we're right back into the Hammerheads, and here Aiden able to catch it coming from behind Cooper, but a good knowing play by Aiden to keep it away from him and keep possession. As the Wildebeests look to get a shot on. Chef is up off the ceiling, looking like it's in, and a little bit lucky from the Chef, as this one will go off the ceiling and in from the 50.
And that's just unfortunate, isn't it? And that one just going up and down, swish goal, but in without the hoops, right? And that's just sad to see. It happens though. Sometimes you get the fortunate bounces, sometimes you get the unfortunate bounces. and this time the Hammerheads just get the unfortunate bounce, sadly.
Chef just feeding me lines here, cooking some Dunkin' Donuts back in his kitchen, and we're seeing that on full display here as he's able to stop it at the midfield, looking for possibly a backboard pass in. Dork tips it. This one will be back to Aiden, and we're seeing just more dominant offensive pressure from the Wildebeests. It's relentless so far. Another shot is on Cooper, gets the power clear. Nobody there to send it back out immediately for once, and Hammerhead's getting a little bit of a break here. Some refreshing offensive play. Some overcommitments here from the Hammerheads, but Scraps not able to make anything of it as of right now. We're back in the Hammerheads end, as we're very much used to by this game. Porter sends it off the sidewall. He gets bumped. Porter trying to make a move. It looks like he is out of boost, though. No good for now. Aiden looking to make a play on the ball. He will wait. Out of boost. Dork tries to make a play only as far as Cooper. Aiden with a great backboard read. He'll send it the length of the field. Porter passes back to Scraps, able to possibly keep some momentum here into the offensive end. We're seeing that a lot more this game. A couple of really good offensive chances already. Chef gets in. Oh, sneaky little tap, and that one will just dribble over the line, and the Chef puts another one by for a 2-0 lead for the Wildebeests.
Wow. Chef with that tiniest touch there, the little redirect is beautiful, and it allows that ball to slowly roll its way in. Aiden could have stolen it, but decides against it. The defense almost getting back there in time, but it was just too little, too late.
Chef needs to start doing his own color commentary. He put in the chat, he's slow cooking now with that one, and a very nice touch. Up to Aiden. Ooh, a good sauce, but nothing will come of it. A shot is stopped by Porter. Wow, a wicked car rotation to keep that one out for now. Cooper, whoa, judges it very well, lets it bounce off the back post before touching that one. Porter sends it across. Scraps with the shot up to Porter, but the pass does not find its receiver. Chef taking it off wall, can't get a flip reset.
Oh,
and
no. I saw that one coming from a little ways away. There's no one in the net here. Look at this double commit onto boost. And Cooper, he mistimes his jump, and well, Chef got himself a hat trick. 4 shots, 3 goals. He almost be hitting every shot he takes at this point. He could pick up practically any girl he wants.
Yeah, and yeah, I think, Chef, you're right. I don't think there's a cooking term for that one, so I'm just gonna say that that's a good Rocket League goal this time. But Cooper able to get a clear out here, and I think the Hammerheads really feeling that offensive pressure now, and are losing some concentration here. A great pass across and a fantastic shot, but a better save from Aiden. My goodness, what a play to keep that ball out of the net. This one, a pre-flip coming in from Cooper. No luck on that one, though. A relentless pressure again, and even when the Hammerheads get offensive pressure, the Wildebeests are there to answer with a booming clear from Dork and Aiden.
A very, very powerful clear there, and it's beautiful to see that the Hammerheads have come alive here, and less than a whole 100 seconds left here, 95 to be precise. It's 4-0. It's very much so possible to come back here. We've seen crazier things. I mean, just yesterday we witnessed the Vikings getting absolutely pummeled somehow by getting reverse swept. So, right, we've seen crazy things, and 4 goals in 75 seconds, definitely possible.
The Hammerheads need to get an even strength goal here. They need to get that just straight up beating the Wildebeests, get some confidence back, pep in their step, and to be able to take more than just this one game off. But Aiden playing all around the field here and has been fantastic with that pass to Dork. My goodness, how he finds the open man, and Dorkinator finds the open net.
You can
and
tell
it is
this isn't even a shot. He goes for that pass on purpose. He feels that Dork is going to be there on time, and it's a very hard and precise shot, too. It's not an easy shot to hit if you're Dork, and it's not an easy pass at all for Aiden to make. And
Makes
oh
an
my
even harder shot to save. Talk about hard shots to save. Aiden with the beautifully read double tap here. Fantastic play. Aiden is popping off. Pot roast.
Hey, listen, that ball didn't even hit the floor. It just went directly into the net after the double tap off of that angle,
Oh
and it's
no.
7-0.
Oh no.
And
Oh no,
every
no, no.
time it turns to 7-0, I always need to ask, do you let your opponents score on you just once for the Brazil?
Wildebeests are all cooking right now, and Aiden, I'd say he's probably making some popcorn as of right now with that pass and that goal, and we'll see if the Hammerheads can grab any popcorn of their own. Dork with the pass back here, possibly a possession keep, and they're just messing around with
They
it.
are
Trying to grab
throwing.
pass to
Are
Aiden.
they gonna score on each other here?
I think they're looking for the Brazil here.
I was saying it as a joke. No one ever
And
does it.
no, it will happen. 15 seconds left. It is 7-1 now. What would be even funnier is if they got a nice Brazilian pot roast. You're not wrong, Aiden. You're not wrong. But
No.
what would be funny is if we got a Brazil here and then a Barcelona 8-2 at some point in this series to cap off the smacking of the Hammerheads. That would be rather funny here.
You talk about the Barcelona 8-2. It's a very lesser-known scoreline, isn't it? A scoreline that's not talked about enough because an 8-2 beating is something that you see very, very rarely. But the 7-1 is definitely a deeper cut, let's say, isn't it?
Definitely, it feels worse in the heart of your opponents if you are able to get that Brazil, and they do so far, and we'll see if the Hammerheads are able to come back from that smashing so far, but 7-1 victory.
Sicko gonna come in here for Porter. Porter, all right, I don't want to be mean to Porter because he's actually a pretty decent player, but yeah, he's just been nowhere this series, hasn't he? He's been pretty invisible all series long. In the 15 minutes we've seen him on the field, has he really done that much?
I think he played better in that first game, but maybe just not feeling it right now and looking for a momentum shift. The Hammerheads. It's kind of sad to see Porter go, though. He was their leading scorer in the regular season, so they're losing their main offensive threat. Maybe hoping to just keep that defense strong and capitalize more on the transition plays as we head down to the field here for Game 4, a 2-1 series lead after a couple of smashings by the Wildebeests here. Looking back in their usual dominant form, a great demo by Sicko, but they can't make anything of it here. Cooper with another demo, looking to play maybe a more physical game here. That might work. Could be a interesting tactic. We'll see how it plays out. Dork just barely misses, and we'll have to see if that win and allowing that goal. Oh, we got the Brazil. I wonder if we'll see that affect the mental game. I think that's the answer to that question, though, as Aiden puts one in the back of the net.
You talk about physicality, and Sicko brings that physicality. He likes to bump, he likes to demo, he likes to be in positions that most players wouldn't be. In hockey, we call it the dirty areas, where like you really need to fight for the ball, where you really need to bump other players, and it's not really a space where you would normally put yourself down into unless you like the nitty gritty of Rocket League. And that's definitely the kind of game that Sicko plays.
It'll be interesting to see how much he can really affect the play here. Maybe even just having a fresh set of eyes and a fresh new car body out in the field will help here. Fresh new paint job out there as well. We'll have to see if that can really make a difference. But Aiden puts in his second of the game just 61 seconds in.
Yeah, no, the red-colored Stocktain can't do anything against the green-colored Stocktain, as it's 2-0 a minute in.
I think it's those Cristianos that Aiden's got on. I think that's his luck charm. Like his lucky socks, but lucky wheels, I guess. I don't know. But
Lucky caps.
lucky caps, lucky caps. But the Hammerheads not looking super fantastic so far, but the Wildebeests looking just as dominant as ever, not allowing a real goal here in the past game. No offensive pressure goals coming in the last 2 games as well. Almost 12 minutes of Rocket League at 11.5 right now, where the Hammerheads have been unable to gain offensive pressure and score a goal because of that.
Well, I mean, they did score a goal, but we forget about it because they did. Because let's be honest, the Wildebeests threw. That way, it would be a Brazil.
They also did score one in game 2 on a transition play, but no offensive goals coming off of offensive pressure so far. So not looking fantastic so far for the Hammerheads. And we'll see if Scraps can pick something up here, and he gets the flick and the goal. Hammerheads are on the board.
Scraps was reduced to scraps after that demo, but the double commit right here, Aiden should have stayed back. Doesn't read the play well. He doesn't see that his teammate goes for it, and because of that, it goes behind him. No one's in the net. It's a 2-1 game.
2-1. Well, they're going to need another one, and another one quick as well, if they're going to keep this momentum here coming into the latter portions of this game. Almost at the halfway point, 2-1. And as my father always told me, if they can do something in the first half of the game, you can do the same thing in the second half. But Dork making sure that he can make it 3-1 here before that half mark comes.
Now, Aiden's been that big scorer in the regular season, but he's only scored 1 goal, I do believe. No, sorry, 3 goals this series so far. 3? No, he had a hat trick. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. But he's not the main scorer. It's a whole team effort. That's what I wanted to say. Chef's been cooking up something. Dorkinator has been dunking, and I mean, Aiden. I don't know. He just seems like support more than anything, right? They're just interchangeable. All these players here are able to get the job done when called upon.
Aiden definitely doing everything he can, from scoring to passing. We saw that all on display in the last game. And this 2-goal lead is going to be a tall order to overcome here for the Hammerheads. Dork reads that play very well. Missed touch here. Sicko with a chance to get it by Chef. He doesn't. Dork looking for the tip and can't quite get it to go here. Scraps sends it out. Aiden sends it back in here, maybe looking for another touch. Cooper is up early, though. He's looking for another touch, can't get it there. Sicko back on the ball now for the Hammerheads. This one's in the middle for Aiden. It's a shot just wide. And I can't put it on net. That's the first time we've really seen him miss a shot. Sicko with a chance to cut in, but Dork gets there first. He'll get another touch here and might need some assistance from his team, and we could see Hammerheads getting some offensive pressure here. Scraps unable to get that touch. Aiden gets some help from Chef to clear it out, and we are back into the Hammerheads' end once again, and this offense is just relentless.
You talked about how the Wildebeests are barely missing a ball, and that's extremely surprising for Diamond and Champ 1 players to be hitting the ball this consistently with this much accuracy. I think they've ascended beyond Champ 1, if I do say, because honestly they've been playing better than the Renegades, than Renegades teams that we've seen. I think these guys could go toe to toe up against some of the Renegade teams from this season.
For sure. I think a lot of the players on this team have gotten that Champ 1, Champ 2 recognition in their ranks, as Chef is able to put another one in, and the smattering of goals continues here for the Wildebeests, not allowing more than one after that first game and looking very good here. Nothing against the Hammerheads, though. They've been playing well. Just defense tires out people so bad. And I know we've definitely felt that with the Buzzard squad when we played the Wildebeests. We needed to keep that offensive pressure, and they just don't tire out on defense when you keep them there as well. So it's really hard to get anything by them. You have to keep offensive pressure for just so long in order to make that work. And it seems like the Hammerheads haven't been so far in these last few games. And the Wildebeests will take game 4, though. And it's a 3-1 series lead for them, looking to continue their way onto the finals.
And marching their way to that finals, indeed. They've only allowed the Hammerheads to have 10 shots in the last 3 games. Game number 1, they had a lot more shots than that. They were allowed entry into the Wildebeest zone. The Wildebeest took a little bit of time to activate, but once they did, they started playing like literal beasts. And what can you do if you're the Hammerheads here? There's absolutely nothing you can do, right? Even as Champ 1 players, right? When your opponents are hitting the ball this consistently, this often, with this much accuracy, it makes you very angry. And how can they be so consistent, you must be telling yourself, right? Like, it's as if they have magnet hacks or something to their car. But you know what I mean, right? At that level, you aren't expecting players to hit the ball consistently, especially up in the air, more than, I'd say, 80% of the time, right? I think 80% is a good rough estimate for a pretty decent high diamond, low champ player. All of these guys have been hitting the ball at least at a 90 to 95% rate.
I'd argue all 6 players right now have been playing fairly consistent and very good. Definitely showing that they're the cream of the crop from Paladin this season, but definitely I think it's also about the power that the Wildebeests are getting. They're just able to get weird angles, but also get a lot of power on their clears, and that's something that the Hammerheads are really finding tough to tame so far here. Ever since game 1, Chef gets a kind of a weird ground pinch there to start off things here. In game 4, Chef trying to center it here, can't quite get it by Cooper, though. Cooper looking for another touch, he gets it by, but it's cleared out to Dork. And I think another thing that the Wildebeests are doing very well is when they're hitting the ball, they're hitting it with power and hitting it so that their teammates can get to it earlier than the Hammerheads, and the Hammerheads aren't able to connect on stuff like that because of just how much time they're spending in their defensive end, just getting tired, needing that power clear. But the Wildebeests able to just clear it back so quickly every time. It's hard for the Hammerheads to recalibrate their Rocket League senses, and
just
as
like
they
that,
put in another one, Dork gets the first goal here in game 5.
You were talking about the clears and how the Hammerheads just couldn't do anything because they got in the offensive zone and then they got cleared away. Well, look at that. And then it turned into a 2-on-1 situation, and the pass to Dork was just perfect. And it's a 1-0 game. You're talking about not only are they accurate, but they are powerful cubics. You are a part of Paladin League, right? So tell me, how many balls do you think you hit in a row before you miss one, right? How do you hit one in what is it? Do you only miss one in every 4? Do you miss one in every 5 when it's up in the air like that? And do you hit it perfectly each time? Because these players are doing exactly that. I think they're hitting they're only missing the ball one every 10 to 15 tries here. And every time they do hit it, they hit it with precision and with power, just like that. That is so close. The precision was there on both ends. It's just off the post for both of them. So that is a tease and a half. And somehow Sicko, what is that angle? What? Sicko, what is that angle?
An own goal here from the Wildebeests. Sicko trying to clear it out and pings it off. I think that was Chef for the own goal. So unfortunate, but so what the Hammerheads needed. Just a little bit of a laugh and a little bit of recalibration here. But getting back to your point, I think it's more about the power and accuracy than the consistency. You see a lot of players especially in High Diamond now, because the ranks were shifted after that, what was it, Season 12 or 13? They were kind of nerfed a little bit, and I think players at the top of Diamond and in Champ 1, you'll see them actually being fairly consistent, getting that like 1 in 10, 1 in 15, but it's really about the accuracy and getting it to your teammates that's the difference maker to get it to players up in that standing, and we're seeing that come out very nicely from the Wildebeests as opposed to the Hammerheads. And I think it's really about the pressure. And I think the Hammerheads are just, they've had this for 4 games and are just worn out of being on defense at this point. And as Dorkinator puts another one in, and the Wildebeests are back on the top here, as we kind of expected after their performances so far. But you felt like after that last goal, the Hammerheads might have a shot at coming back here. They only needed 1 goal, and now the momentum is fully back with the Wildebeests. Do you think the Hammerheads have a shot in this one?
I mean, listen, I'm gonna give you a recent example. I know you're a Montreal Canadiens fan. We both are. And
okay, that's not true, but sure. We don't talk about what NHL team I like. So.
They had a 3-game series with Vancouver, correct? And as the series went forward, right, Montreal just kept getting better and better and better, right? And Vancouver just seemed to get more tired and more tired, and the games were more lopsided to Montreal's favor. And so that's kind of how I feel right now, because the first game 1, completely on the side of the Hammerheads, but that wasn't sustainable. The Wildebeests came back, they tore them down in game 2. In game 3, they were absolutely dead in the water. Game 4, they barely fought back, and right now we're seeing just a little bit of fight, but it's practically too little too late as Sicko scores on himself. What a goal! That deserves a nice shot there from everyone.
A little bit unfortunate from Sicko here. I think a miscommunication with Scraps there, possibly a bump as well, and that one... Well, I mean, it's an own goal for each team now, so you could look at that as fair, but not what the Hammerheads wanted at all here, as it looks like their season is going to come to a close. But what a season they've had. Some very good play from all of them so far this season. Scraps, Cooper, Porter, and Sicko have been fairly successful, having to play the Wildebeests as much as they did in the regular season as well, and now having to face them in their playoffs. A fairly good season for them, and they just got to hold their heads high and look for what's coming in the future here. But Wildebeest look to be moving on to the RLPC Paladin League Finals. 30 seconds left here. Scraps looking for some momentum, gets a flick, but Cooper can't get on the end of that pass. Back with the Wildebeest now, finally there. I didn't mention it, but Hammerhead's getting some offensive pressure. Cooper passes up, but he can't get a follow on it. This one is centered. A shot will come on, and a consolation goal in theory here for Cooper. But hey, anything can happen in 10 seconds. I've seen worse. I've had literally 2 games yesterday where the team was either down or tied, and they scored with 9 seconds left and came back to win the game in regulation. So
that's nothing. A few weeks ago, I was casting a game, and down 2 goals with 3 seconds left, they get a goal, and I don't think anything of it. They score off of the kickoff, and then they score before overtime even hits again. They scored 3 goals in 3 seconds, and they won the game that way. They were down 2 goals. And sadly, the Hammerheads can't do that, can't bring us to overtime. The Wildebeests will go on to fight the Cosmos, who beat the Dragonflies to get to the finals. So maybe they will be very scary. The Dragonflies were the only team able to beat the Wildebeests at all this season. Do you think the Cosmos have a chance?
It'll depend on how well they play. I'm not sure how they fared in the regular season against the Wildebeests, but it'll be interesting because the Dragonflies were definitely that other